In this section, I'll kind of talk about the structures that I've got in place, and then over here, I'll go over the differences and renovations that I hope to make with the map. So the first and most important part is that current iteration of the map is just one big glob. You've got in this corner kind of the starting zone, the cliffs, and the water, and Tesla's cube, and the desert area, including but not limited to the Accelodrome, which is poorly represented right there. So you've got additionally, kind of way further in the bottom, you've got the 4 realms. You've got the lava realm, you've got storm, swamp, and cavern realm, which is all fine and dandy, but the issue is it is huge, and it'll just about crush lower end machines. So the issue of the map being too large is something that I plan on fixing by taking this and breaking it into smaller bite-sized pieces. Now this will offer multiple advantages. So instead of having one giant map, you'll have 5 smaller but still sizable maps, which you can kind of customize the order of. So this first map is just going to be the prologue here. Which I'm going to denote with a P, and then further on, you're going to have the Accelodrome hub map is going to be in each of the following maps, and that will kind of introduce more flexibility. And I can also make cutscene levels, arrange these into playable campaigns. So you can pretty much switch the order of these. So if you wanted to skip the campaign prologue, you could just, go straight to, for example, Storm Realms, Womp Realm, Cavern, and Lava. You could, for example, put a cutscene right at the beginning here. And you could insert this cutscene wherever you wanted. You could rearrange these. So instead of going, here and then here and then here and then here, which you would in kind of the traditional order of operations, if you wanted to instead just get right to the realms, you could have a cutscene that starts here and then goes right to the swamp, the cavern, and then the lava. Or alternatively, you could go out of order. Swamp, storm, cavern, lava, however you wanted to do it, which is the advantage of having them cut into levels like this. And additionally, since they're not nearly as large, they're not going to be as heavy, so I can pack more into each level as far as Easter eggs, details, mechanics. It's just easier to fill it up more. And so what I'm working on right now is, since I've got most of the substance for Swamp Realm, the renovations will be very minimal. I'd say I'm at about that level of capacity for the Storm. The Swamp is somewhat lower, since I'd like to see that level finished a bit more. Cavern, again, very close to being done, just mechanics of like driving darkness that I want to work on. Finishing out. Lava, I'd say, is probably about 70% of the distance to where I'd like it to be, just because there's bugs and issues that I'm not exactly sure how they happened or how to fix them. So I just need to spend some time working out how to get them finished. But the prologue, I've got practically nothing. So that's going to take a while to finish out. I'll be releasing these episodically, so probably going to finish up Storm Realm as far as, mechanics of starting the realm goes. I'm going to put the wheel on a timer, and that's the second thing that I'd like to talk about. Currently, the wheel of power in the middle of the Accelodrome, it is tied to a series of switches. You hit one of these switches, then the game is started just for you. This is kind of like a very rudimentary clock. I'm trying to draw. I want to switch to a straighter brush. And all the other players, they have to trigger it at the same time for the animations to show kind of simultaneously. Instead, what I'm thinking of doing is just kind of going away from that design and instead just having it go on a timer. So for example, oh, it looks awful. 30 seconds into the game, this starts spinning for everybody. I'm thinking of introducing some new mechanics, nothing super concrete at this stage, mostly just development of kind of my thought process for how I want to restructure it. I had kind of a thing going for the open world map, whereas you could kind of just, you know, go with the flow and trigger these in any order that you wanted them and then kind of reopen them afterwards. Probably going to be more linear this time, more structured, more there are rules in place, here's how to follow them. And as a result, you'll likely probably be kicked out after the first 60 seconds. But since it's going to be in a more episodic format, that means that you'll get like another chance next realm. And doing these maps without dying, that's generally about 3 minutes worth of content. So hopefully you won't be missing a whole lot. But this way, wheel animations start at the same time for everybody, and it adds kind of more of a challenge for dying. Additionally, kind of on that same note, what I'm planning on maybe restructuring is turning the levels from sprint to challenge, because in sprint, you know, you've got your loading checkpoints, and you go through the checkpoint, you respawn there, and previously I had this kind of in the base area, so you'd respawn kind of in the base area, and then you'd go up and start the realm again, kind of take the track again. I think that was an okay solution, but kind of cumbersome. What I'm thinking instead is restructuring and padding the track so that if you are, you know, going really fast as far as centrifugal motion goes, and you maybe lose a little bit of grip and crash into the side, I'm going to be putting force zones that pad it, meaning you'll stay in the middle for the entire duration of kind of the track, because I don't feel like getting into the realm should be the challenge. Um, I feel like once you're in the realm, that's where the challenge should begin, and more on that end. I'm thinking of restructuring these maps to be challenge maps, meaning that after you die, that's it. Then you would, metaphorically speaking, be watching from the terminal back at the Accelodrome. You would have like a dash cam view of everybody else. So it'd be like kind of hitting the EDR, going back to the um, Accelodrome. And this I feel like would be kind of a more honest representation of the show in and of itself and add more structure, but at the same time less freedom to the approach of kind of making a role play map. But I'm not set on any one of these things. I'm still kind of going over it in my head. It'll be a while before I get the maps out. And again, nothing is permanent. Once I settle on a format, publish it to the workshop, work out all the kinks, I may go back and revise it like I have with the current rendition of the roleplay map. I'm always kind of looking at the map itself and fixing things. And then once I finally get like the process worked out as for like an episodic kind of format, that brings us to nice, capitalizing my eyes. The speed of silence, which I feel like should actually be a different color. Just very slowly adjusting the size of the box. So speed of silence has the Metro Realm, it's got the Water Realm, and those two are massive. They're big. Water Realm itself, the one that I've got on my computer, is about half the size of the Ignition roleplay map, and I'm thinking I might want to condense that a little bit. But for the sequel map, which will take a while to get done, I'm thinking this Christmas, if that, then it's definitely going to be released in an episodic format. It's definitely going to be episode by episode because there's no way in hell I could fit it all into a map, especially with what I'm planning to do with the Metro Realm, which hopefully if I can get a couple of collaborators from the community together will be a bit bigger than even the Water Realm that I have. And that's the hope, just to make this really awesome, detailed open world map, because with the tools that we have, the Metro Realm promises to be kind of a cool, like, open world exploration experience in and of itself, with, like, you know, jumps and different like challenges, and kind of the thing that I aspire to do with it is to kind of recreate with a different theme and environment the same thing that the developers of Distance had going in the Lost to Echoes campaign. There were these like entire cities of you know, just Easter eggs kind of hidden out in the area. I would like to avoid splitting it into more than one map, so it'll probably just be the size of an extra large, extra crispy Nitronic Rush Lost to Echoes campaign map. So that about covers what I've got going for my stuff in Distance. And I'm going to go ahead and just move on to some other projects I'm working on so I can fit more than just Distance stuff into this video. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to note that custom music is back in Distance, which has been a thing that has pretty much happened recently. I don't know why I made a point to say pretty much. That has happened recently. Also, real quickly, I would like to go ahead and custom objects, my levels, exports. Take a moment to go over the fact that if at any point Distance updates and your custom cars are gone, just rerun this script at this location. Install Windows script, or alternatively install Linux bash script. And then also go over the fact that I am trying to learn how to model. Very simplistic model that was resized, refactored thanks to Valk, and that I just recently imported into the game. This is a design by Samuel Pierce, kind of hanging out in the Discord, and I'm pleased with the way it turned out. And more to that point, I am messing around with photogrammetry and modeling on my own. So this is a very rudimentary photogrammetric scan of RD10, a model that I have. And as you can see, it's got some kind of basic depth, but not very smooth. I'm trying to put together a turntable and kind of figure out how to even out the lighting so that I can get more precise, less, I don't know how to describe this, less bumpy models in the future that I can refine, which will be really cool because that means that all of the models that I have just kind of hanging out in my attic and dusty little carrying case that they've been in for so long can finally actually be some use to other people. I can scan them in, clean up the textures, simplify the mesh. Valken may or may not be up to helping with that. He's kind of testing it out as well. All depends on the quality of the models. So this is new and exciting, and thought I would make mention of it here so that it could reach as many people as possible. These are close to orthographic scans that you get from scanning line by line. I have a scanner that is on an HP printer that I'd never used. I figured, why not give this a shot? And although it's kind of blurry, these might be useful in making blueprints for some of the cars that we don't already have. And hopefully this will help the effort to kind of digitalize or digitize some of the older cars that we don't currently have in the game. And last thing I wanted to go over before this video ends, because it's already very long, is I want to, where is it? I want to bring up the fact that over the summer I may be pouring some effort and time into a Patreon account because God knows I don't have as much time as I used to, and if I could afford to take some time off of work to focus exclusively on these kinds of products, I feel like the map making experience would greatly improve. So far, I'm not gonna like put up a paywall and say, you have to donate in order to play the maps, but it would be a great help if I could get just small donations, not really expecting much, like a combination of several different subscriptions adding up to $5, $10 a month. Anything helps. And then just kind of that um, use that to improve the quality of my work, because I feel like the more experience I have in the level editor, the more I realize, wow, this is kind of a stupid mistake. I don't like the design of this. I want to change it, but not a whole lot of time. That will improve as the semester ends and as I'm not taking as many classes, not working as much. And then I can kind of go over these maps and just kind of rework them. Just think, like, I don't like this section, not specifically pertaining to the Ice Realm, but just to like all the different projects that I've currently been working on, but have not had the time to explore and refinish to their fullest potential, and just focus on kind of developing my skills as a vehicle modeler, maybe some voice acting, who knows, all sorts of creative stuff, whatever you guys want. Just something to enrich my life more than just sitting in an office all day dealing with IT issues, which is what I do for a living. And so, yeah, that about wraps up kind of my updates. And hopefully, you guys are going to be seeing more videos from me, hearing more from me coming into the summer. And hopefully, I will be resuming those Sunday weekend streams.